indigenous cultural identity. Although the cultural ethos of Indian Christians had been linked with Indian music and other fine art forms, the cultural identity of Christians in India was always in dilemma. In order to answer these questions, several attempts have been made in the past centuries by the musicians in India to inculturate biblical themes into Indian music and other art forms. The novel concept of inculturation or contextualization ushered a new thinking in every church denominations in India to make attempts to adapt Indian music into their liturgical and performing music. I would like to quote a great saying by famous Marathi poet Narayan Vaman Rao Tilak, who became a Christian. He said he believed a Hindu-Christian synthesis was impossible unless native Christian religion had deep roots in Indian culture. This is an eye-opener for all of us. Various stages of adaptation. This process of adapting biblical themes into Indian music has been divided into three different stages in its evolutionary process. Number one, liturgical music, which is music of worship. Number two, classical music, music for performance. Number three, folk music, music for both performance and worship. You can see the picture, the transition we have today from the Western style to Indian style, especially in music and fine arts. Indian way of presenting Bible. Now come to liturgical music. Transition from Latin or Syrian liturgical music to vernacular gave an indigenous shape to the Christian liturgical music in India. Although attempts had been started towards the end of 19th century, Second Vatican Council was the vital force behind the indigenization of liturgical music in Catholic Church. But in the Protestant churches, this happened even before that. Three stages of adaptation of indigenous liturgical music. First stage, we have the stage of translation. Most of they have borrowed the Western tunes and created, Western tunes and they created indigenous lyrics. The second stage, transformation or evolving a new shape. And the third stage is perfect indigenization of liturgical music. In the first stage, the stage of translation, when we go to Kerala, the birthplace of Christianity in India, so far we have no evidence or documents regarding the kind of liturgical music prevailed at that time of St. Thomas. We assume that St. Thomas Christians might have adopted the local customs and traditions of Hindus of that time and might have combined it with Jewish worshipping style of psalm chanting, because in the universal church itself, the liturgical music is formed only in the 4th century, the universal church. And they brought, and the arrival of the Syrian missionaries under the leadership of Thomas of Cana opened a new chapter in the liturgical music tradition of Kerala, and they arrived in Kerala AD 345. So when they came, they brought the Syrian music and the liturgical customs and traditions and etc. Again, in the 15th century, we see the arrival of the Western missionaries under the leadership of Vasco da Gama, Portuguese missionary. You see the photo of Vasco da Gama on the top. And they brought a little bit of Western music and liturgical traditions of the Western Church from Europe. At the same time, in Kerala, they developed the Syrian hymns because the Catholic, especially the Syro Malabar Church, the local church, was using the, the Syrian music at large. So the origin of Syrian hymn uh, is from Saint Ephraim, a great saint from East, and he actually borrowed some of the traditional styles of Barda Saints, one of the greatest poet in Syria. So, and we call Saint Ephraim is the father of Christian hymns. Although we have hymns in the West, but it is originated from the East historically. So Syrian and Latin and English hymns were translated into Malayalam gradually and also into other Indian languages. So we have a special tune here, Pus Baslama. That's a name of a tune. So for example, I can sing വിടവാങ്ങുന്നേ നശ്വരമുലകിൽ വിടുതിയെനിക്കായി നൽകിയ വസതി. So this is a funeral song used in Kerala church, but this is in Malayalam. So the departed soul is he, what is that? Saying goodbye to his friends and relatives. That's the meaning of this song. But originally, the Syriac chants or the hymns, they did not have any rhythm. It had only the syllabic rhyming. But you see, this particular song is in a Rubagatala, which is Carnatic South Indian classical music rhythm. വിടവാങ്ങുന്നേൻ 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4. So you can see even in the Syriac singing style, we see the influence of South Indian classical music or Indian music styles. And also there is another example of another song, സമയമാം രഥത്തിൽ ഞാൻ സ്വർഗയാത്ര ചെയ്യുന്നു എൻ സ്വദേശം കാൺമതിനായി ഞാൻ തനിയെ പോകുന്നു. It's again a funeral song, but it's taken from a movie, Malayalam movie, and this was written by Reverend Nagel. He's called Saip because he was a foreigner. That's we call Saip. And this particular song, it is taken from a German hymn, and he wrote the Malayalam lyrics into that. And in Tamil Nadu, we have a lot of beautiful examples in the history of Tamil music. The Roman Catholic missionary, the Jesuit priest De Nobili came to Madurai in Tamil Nadu, Madurai mission 16th century, and he found apparently no Christian hymns were ready for worship. So De Nobili composed Sanskrit canticles taking Hindu models, a typical example of inculturation or indigenization. In AD 1706, we see the arrival of Protestant missionaries like Lutherans Bartholomew Ziegenbalg and Henry Plushow in Trangobar. In Tamil, they call it Tarangampadi. And that was followed by another group of missionaries like Philip Fabricius and Christian Frederick Schwartz. And they all translated and formed the first Tamil hymnody called Gnana Pattugal or and Pamale. These are the typical hymns translated from or taken from the foreign, the European culture. And they adapted German chorals to be sung in Tamil. So missionaries, they have contributed a lot because they believed that if Christian faith was to be respected, it had to find expression in the higher forms of Tamil or any vernacular language. The second stage is transformation or evolving a new shape. Uh, in Kerala, we see a process of Latinization of customs and especially liturgical customs and traditions and music. And the Western missionaries, they brought Gregorian chant, the famous Gregorian chant, and also polyphonic singing. And then onwards, we had the formation of choir and the use of musical instruments for church choir. And they developed more hymns with rhythmic regularity, with clear beats. And also, these hymns were greatly influenced by Carnatic music rhythms. Carnatic music means the South Indian classical music. Now, in Tamil Nadu, we see all these attempts laid a foundation for a strong adaptation of Indian music in course of time. The new Madurai Jesuit mission under the leadership of fathers Jael Miranda and Rockley, they were French missionaries. They encouraged indigenous Christian Tamil music. And at that time, Father Santiago, he was a scholastic. He was in the process of becoming a priest, and these missionaries asked this young brother to compose a indigenous hymn in Tamil, and therefore he is called as the father of Catholic liturgical music in Tamil Nadu. And his famous song, Sesuvin Madura Idayame, O sweet Sesuvin Madura Idayame. So, O sweet heart of Jesus. And he developed, he composed so many songs, and his collection of Tamil hymns, it's called Deva Totra Kirtanaigal. The third stage is the total indigenization. In Kerala. We see just after the Second Vatican Council, especially in the Catholic Church, we see a great change in the traditional Christian music. We got numerous vernacular hymns and bhajans, so many LP records. The famous song. പരിശുദ്ധാത്മാവേ നീ എഴുന്നള്ളി വരണമേ എൻ്റെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ ദിവ്യദാനങ്ങൾ ചിന്തി എന്നുള്ളിൽ ദൈവസ്നേഹം നിറയ്ക്കണേ പരിശുദ്ധാത്മാവേ. So Parishuddhalmave means Holy Spirit, come into my heart. That's the meaning of the song. And this particular song is the most famous Christian devotional song in Malayalam tradition. And this is composed in a particular raga called Vagula Bharanam. It's a perfect scale in Rubagadala, which is 6-beat cycle, written by a famous lyricist in Malayalam, Father Abel CMI. And this has become a landmark. So then onwards, they began to use the South Indian classical music, ragas and talas, into Christian liturgical music elaborately. Holy Mass in Indian music.
Put off that. What does?
പിതാവിൻ്റെയും പുത്രൻ്റെയും പരിശുദ്ധാത്മാവിൻ്റെയും നാമത്തിൽ. അന്നാ പെസഹ തിരുനാളിൽ കർത്താവരുളിയ കൽപ്പന പോൽ തിരുനാമത്തിൽ ചേർന്നിടാം, ഒരുമയോടി ബലിയർപ്പിക്കാം.
That was the introductory rite of Catholic Mass. And in India, we have a beautiful concept called time theory of ragas. Time theory of ragas, which means each raga, according to its melodic interrelationship, is assigned for a particular time. So this particular raga is called Ravagupti or Bhupala. That's a morning raga. So when we offer the Holy Mass, especially in the morning, in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, that is Pidavindeയും പുത്രൻ്റെയും പരിശുദ്ധാത്മാ. So that morning raga will evoke a particular bhakti bhava in the devotees. It is extremely powerful. And we are coming back to Tamil Nadu tradition. So kirtanas were promoted to use in Protestant liturgies. It's a major step in liturgical music. Until then, kirtanas were not used in liturgical music. Especially Protestant churches took this great initiative in liturgical music in South India. And at this stage, the evidence of shift in missionary attitude towards indigenous music can be found in the introduction to the Handbook of Musical Evangelism, co-authored by L.I. Stephen and Reverend Herbert Popele, an LMS missionary. So the European missionaries, British missionaries, they began to encourage the indigenous liturgical music. That was a great step. And on account of that, we see also in a Catholic Church the emergence of Christian bhajans. So NBCLC is a national center for the Catholic Church in Bangalore. So they have produced so many bhajans. Om Jagadishwara Sadabi Chinmaya Jagadishwara Vande. Om Paripujita Paraparatma Paraparatma Anavaradam Vande. Anavaradam Vande. Anavaradam Vande. So like that we have so many bhajans. And we have a interesting composer here, is a Jesuit priest, Michael Amaldas, and he has composed a number of Tamil hymns, and one of his bhajans is so famous. It's a beautiful bhajan. This is in Rag Hindolam. In Hindustani music, it is called Malkons. தேவாதிதேவ உன் திருவடி சரணம் தேவாதிதேவா உன் திருவடி சரணம் திருத்தூய ஆவி உன் திருவடி சரணம் திருத்தூய ஆவி உன் திருவடி சரணம் தேவாதிதேவ உன் திருவடி சரணம். It is in Tamil. And also we have so many independent churches in India. They have all developed their own typical liturgical singing style. We have Jacobite Church. They use 8 modes in the office of the hours. It's called octo echoes, a particular type of composition or modes. Then we have Syro Malankara Church. They have produced so many records of their liturgical music. We have Marthoma Church. They have collection of beautiful chants and melodies, and also Anglican hymns and translations with original tunes, indigenous compositions with Carnatic ragas and thalas. And also Latin Church in India. Choir was trained in European notation system, very systematic, and encouraged the use of musical instruments in the church choir. And cultural pluralism became characteristic of the liturgical music of Latin Church, because in each state we have different languages. So that's we mean the cultural pluralism here, different languages especially for the liturgical music. And everywhere, especially in the states of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, we see the influence of South Indian classical music, which is Carnatic music, in the liturgical music of those states. And music of the Protestant churches, the Church of South India, as you have CNI, Church of North India here, they also adopted Carnatic ragas and thalas. We had a great musician from the CSI Church in Kerala, Moshe Valsala Shastrigal. He hails from a place called Neyattingara, which is very close to Trivandrum. So Christian lyrics, the CSI Church, they have developed a particular book called Christian Lyrics. So when you open that book, you can see almost every hymn is notated with a raga name and a thala name. Even before Catholic Church, the Protestant churches have done this. And we have another interesting church here, the Church of Uyomayam, which is brand new to you, at least some of you, I think. And this was founded by a great musician turned priest, Vidwan Kutti Achan, lived in southern Kerala in 19th century. His story is very interesting. He was a Brahmin. His original name was Raman Iyer, and he had a problem for his eyes, and he went to a Christian doctor. After healing this Iyer, this doctor extended a Bible to him, and he read the Bible, and he was fascinated, totally fascinated by the teachings of Jesus Christ, and he took baptism from LMS, London Missionary Society people, and later he became a priest. And he was a Carnatic musician, and also he was a Sanskrit scholar. And it is interesting that a musician became the founder of a sect or denomination. The peculiarity is all their liturgical music, the songs are based on classical music, and they are pure vegetarians. It's called Church of Uyomayam. We have very few people in this church in Kerala, very few now. A glimpse of liturgical music of other states, Goa. Early stage they used Portuguese hymns, later Kongani. Then they have very strong Kongani Bhakti Geetam tradition, then influence of Sanskrit, then we have liturgical music in Karnataka. So we have a very beautiful musician, a priest, Father Felix Narona from Bangalore, who has composed so many liturgical songs based on Carnatic ragas and talas. Then we have Andhra Pradesh, and they have also so many indigenous hymns and songs in Telugu. Then Maharashtra, uh, we have so many songs, especially the contributions of Father George Proksh SVD is praiseworthy. He dedicated himself for the promotion of Marathi Christian music and dance, I would say. Such a great personality he was. And also Father Charles was SVD. He composed so many bhajans, especially in Hindi. His bhajans were so famous. In Gujarat, we have another great communication center by the Jesuit priest Guru Jaravani. They have created so many liturgical hymns in Gujarati. Then Madhya Pradesh, where we have the strong Hindi bhajans. I think it is getting time, I think. Then West Bengal. What is the time limit for us? Excuse me, ma'am. It's over? Half an hour is over. Okay. So the number two classification is classical music. So Christian musicians from Tamil Nadu, Kerala and other states, they try to compose kridis and kirtanams to be sung in vocal and dance concerts such as Bharatanatyam, Mohiniyattam, Kathakali, Kuchipudi and Kathak, Ottanthullal. This is an interesting thing. Today, I perform in churches Christian classical music, Christian classical concert, typical Carnatic concert. I know Dr. Barbosa used to perform Bharatanatyam recitals, professional performance. So we have just like Tyagaraja or Dikshidhar compositions, we have created so many indigenous Christian classical compositions, and I hope in future church will open its doors for this the performing arts of music and dance elaborately, I believe. This is the second video, but there is no time, I think. You can just leave. We can just leave, I think.
Okay, fine.
Since we don't have time, I don't want to play the video again.
We can quickly go through that.
So in Tamil Nadu, we have classical music because I did my PhD in Madras University. My topic was Carnatic music and Christianity. So I have studied the influence of Christian music of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So you see in Tamil Nadu also two separate streams. The Kirtana sung by Protestant churches and Kirtana sung by Catholic churches. Very interesting concept and very well developed musical styles they have in Tamil Nadu. And the composers are Vedanayagam Pillai. He was a Christian composer hailed from Trichy, and he has composed so many classical compositions. Just one song. சித்தம் எப்படியோ ஐயா சித்தம் எப்படியோ ஐயா உன் சித்தம் எப்படியோ. How is your mind? Is it clean? Is it pure? That's the composer is asking. Very, very touching composition by him. And also the Vedanayagam Shastriyar, very great musician from Tamil Nadu, CSI composer. പാടിത്തുതി മനമേ പരനെ കൊണ്ടാടിത്തുതി ദിനമേ പാടിത്തുതി മനമേ പരനെ കൊണ്ടാടിത്തുതി ദിനമേ. So now is the folk music. I have seen that especially in TTS College, Tamil Nadu Theological College in Madurai, they have introduced folk liturgy, whether you believe it or not. So they have introduced folk music for liturgical singing. Totally, they have included different kinds of Christian folk music for their liturgical celebration. This is the third category. We have very strong tradition, especially in the tribal areas. Kerala, we have Chavuttu Nadagam already spoke. They already spoke about that. And we have the music style of Poovathangal. This is an important contribution by a Jesuit German missionary called John Ernest Hanks Leyden, who came to Kerala 1700 AD, and he wrote the life of Christ in Malayalam, taking the model of the Hindu model Jnanapana, which is the story of Krishna. And this is Poovathangal. Poovathangal means, Puthan means new, Pana means song. It's a new song. That's the life of Christ, the new song he contributed to the Christians in India. And this is Margangali. Professor George already spoke about that. It's a Christian folk dance developed by St. Thomas Christians from Kerala. They have also integrated so many Carnatic thalas and solkatus into their dance style. So this is Vedanayagam Shastriya. So he has composed a great work called Bethlehem Kuravanchi. There he included so many Tamil folk Christian songs. So Bible has been proclaimed in various Indian music systems from the beginning of Christianity. Though the mode of expressions has been changed, content remained same. The past 20 centuries have witnessed enormous growth in the process of adaptation of Indian music to express Christian faith in different parts of our country, the liturgical, folk and classical levels. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.